Hello, this is Tanmay, and in this video, I'll be telling you about how we are going to track our user for any kind of e-commerce activities. So, any transaction that relates to an e-commerce transaction can also be accessed and pushed into the data layer. So, we'll be having a deep dive into the same. So, uh, according to my previous videos that I explained, there are certain data layer variables that we created recently. So if I move to my preview section of the Google Tag Manager dashboard, and if I show you that, let me just connect it. So my website will be opened, and so this is basically an e-commerce website. And if we talk about any website that has any type of e-commerce data, it is very crucial to track our user on how the user is interacting with our products as well. So if I say that this diamond ring, if any user buys this diamond ring, this is worth something, and if he simply clicks on buy now. So what you'll notice is I have made a very simple dummy page for the checkout purpose. So it says thanks for shopping, and it's literally a dummy page and it doesn't do anything else. But what I want you to notice is this parameter list that I'm trying to send here. So when I have clicked that product, this is definitely hard code data, but we can replace it with the dynamic data as well according to the product. So all the details about the products are being set here. Like what's the product? I have sent here test product, SKU, test SKU, and price is $1 and order ID is 123. This is hard coded demo data. You can actually send dynamic data by appending the parameters here, but we'll be looking on how we are going to use this. So as you know that this URL is of the checkout page, and I'm very curious to know that what all users are reaching this checkout page of mine. So if I show you the interactions on my website, what you'll notice that if I show you the link click that I did for that by checkout purpose, you'll notice that entire click URL is being coming to me as such, and you'll notice that the URL is having the parameter lists as well. So in order to do anything with the e-commerce data that we are getting, there are three basic steps. Number one is to find the data. Number two is to push the data into the data layer. And third one is obviously we are going to send the pushed data that was pushed into the data layer to the Google Analytics servers. So talking about our first step, we have found the data that we are like getting the data that we want to convert. Now this is in the form of a long string and it doesn't serve any purpose right now. We'll have to convert this entire string into different variables like price, order ID, and so first things first, we'll just create a variable here. So we'll create a new variable, and coming on to the variable configuration, we'll select URL here because we are interested on the URL that the user is using. And component type will be query because I want to, supposingly, if you want to get the price of the product, then you will be typing here price. And if you want the product name, so as per my parameters that I have sent, the name of the product is stored in product. So like this, if you create this product, create this variable, and you can definitely name it according to your wish. Like if I name it URL dash when I'll hit save, this variable will be created. So I've already created this. You can just see there is no difference here. URL query, the component type is query and the query key is product. So like this, you can create 4 variables. There is no difference except of the query that I am sending. If I want to get the order ID, I have sent the query key as order ID and also name the variable in a similar way. If I want to get product, so it is product. If I want to get the SKU for for a certain product, then the variable name is URL space SKU. Now this, the naming convention you can follow as per your wishes, but always remember that query key will be the same as of now. Whatever parameter you have sent from behind, it will be the same name. So always remember to do this. Now, when when you have created four variables or any number of variables that you wish according to your e-commerce data that is coming from the URL, your data has now been translated into certain URL, into variables. So if I show you the same thing, and if I navigate to this, well, what you'll notice that all the uh, all the parameters that are coming into the page URL are now being translated into four different variables. Now this data has become very useful to us, and it is ready to be pushed into the data layer. And this is definitely our second step. We will be moving ahead to the tag section to create a tag to push the data into the data layer. So data layer is a layer that holds our important information that we can just send directly to the Google Analytics servers. So what you can do is you can just simply create a new tag here, and here you will be selecting custom HTML tag. And here what you will be doing is you will be writing the code. Since I've already copied it on my clipboard, so I'm just pasting it here. You can stick to editing this piece of code according to your wishes. So I'll tell you the name value pairs here. So transaction ID, I have uh, given the value of the variable that I previously created sometime before. It was URL dash order ID, URL dash price, and for SKU, I have given the corresponding price. Quantity, I have given as hard coded value of 1 because this is for just demo purposes. And for creating a trigger, you can say that what you can do is you can just simply go to the trigger configuration and create a page view. Now I'm not interested in just the fact that a user has bought a product and the page is viewed. I am interested in some validation. So what I'll do here is I will say that the price of the product should be greater than, and I'll say 0. So like this, I have created a custom trigger that the checkout page is viewed, and also the corresponding parameter price is not 0, it's greater than 0. Now you can just save this trigger, and once you'll just save this trigger, what you'll notice that uh, the trigger will be created. I have already created this. I'll just show you. It's the if you follow all the steps that I asked you, not this one, pushing ecom data. So if I show you this one, if you follow all the steps, then you will be able to create a trigger like price greater than 0 page view. And so when this trigger happens, this custom event happens, this tag will get fired and our data will be pushed into the data layer. So we have done our second step. We have pushed the data into the data layer. Now we come to the third step of our demo. So the third step is nothing but we now have the data into the variables and also onto our data layer. If I show you the same, if I go to the data layer, you'll see that the data layer is also updated with the e-commerce details like transaction ID, total was $1, and all the SKU values and everything. Now, since I know that my data layer is being populated, now I'll just have to send the data to Google Analytics servers. So for that reason, we need to create a tag. So I have named it ecom data to GA4. You can give it according to your wish. And the type of this tag will be GA4 event. Google Analytics event tag we will be creating. For the configuration value, I have selected GA4 config. It can be your configuration tag. You can select yours. And since the name of my custom event was event.com, so I have passed exactly the same name here. If you commit any mistake here, then you will be finding yourself in some errors or some misbehaviors. So just remember that this event name has to be exactly the same custom event. And for the trigger, what I have done, I have just simply created a custom HTML trigger, and the custom HTML is nothing but what I'm doing here is I'm just asking that the custom event that I'm trying to select is event.com, and this is happening when the ecom data to GA4 is being like, this is the trigger for this tag. So if I just close it, you can see the trigger is sending ecom data to GA4, and the tag that gets fired is this one. If I close this and we proceed to, now this is the completion of the third and the last step. Now, if you move on to the preview section, what you'll notice that the tag will be fired for the same function. So if I connect my website again, and the website will get opened. I'm just scrolling to get some interactions here. We'll press continue here. And if I navigate back to my website, and if I click this buy now of this certain diamond ring, so this is my checkout page that I have created, and there are certain parameters that are sent back. Now, if I check my, if I have the clicks that I have made here, what you'll see in content initialization, container loaded, you'll see that this pushing ecom data tag that we created will be fired. And if I just open this, you'll see that all the parameters, all the variables that are highlighted here are sent to our GA4 analytics servers, and we can commit to doing analytics based on the e-commerce data that we are receiving from the online platforms. So this is some basics about how we are going to track e-commerce transactions, and we'll see much further about all these in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.